Welcome, everybody. It is 2018. We are here in a new year, a new day. This is a different day for our fellowship, and a new building. So you online probably were wondering where we were. We were right here getting everything set up for you. And everyone here, just give a big welcome to everyone online as well. Today we are going to have a session on how to launch a six-figure business in 2018. And I see many of you here that are live that are coaches already. How many of you are coaches? Wow, awesome. There's so many different kinds of coaches. There's so many reasons to be a coach. One of the words for my 2018 is power. And I have to tell you that being a coach and having a coach is something that is one of the most powerful things in the world. Coaches have helped me to be able to become who I am. They've helped me to be able to be up on stage, to be able to help others and bring other people to their best successes. So I am so excited for this message today because I want to learn how to be an even better coach and how to continue to get myself to that six-figure coaching business in 2018. So without further ado, I want to bring up one of our wonderful coaches and our chief igniter, Kary Oberbrunner.
Awesome. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, look, I'm thrilled to be here with you today. Let's talk about what you're going to discover, because you came to the right spot. You braved the cold. Thank you for doing that. And today we're going to talk about the benefits of a coach, first of all. The benefits of a coach, because there are several key benefits that unless you understand what they are, you probably might not even think about, well, why should someone have a coach? We're also going to talk about why you're 67% more likely to succeed if you don't quit your day job. Did you hear that? Yes. If you start a coaching business as a side hustle, you are 67% more likely to succeed. This was actually a proven study that's been done. We'll talk about that. And 9 reasons why now is the best time to start a coaching business, right now. For the people who are online, I'd love for them to say where they're from. So if you guys can type in, Erica's managing the comments today. We're going to speak to you as well. This is going to be interactive. We're going to engage with one another. And as we get started today, I do want to encourage you, if you're online, I already encouraged the people here physically, but if you guys can share this, that would be fantastic, if you can do that if you're online. Here's why. Our mission is to ignite 1 million souls by 2020. And that is a big mission. That's a big number. And actually, we are on pace to achieve that. That was something that we set out as a moonshot several years ago, maybe 2015 even. And things are happening. It's fantastic. We have a tremendous amount of people who are coming alive in new ways. In fact, Pat, I'm not going to ask you to come up because there's a big stage and lights and all that. But raise your hand, Pat, because we have an 83-year-old who launches her book this Saturday, correct? Yes. This Saturday. So again, some 80-year-old, let's give her a hand. Yeah. I know some 60-year-olds, I know some 40-year-olds who are just waiting till they die. They're doing nothing, right? And we have an 83-year-old who just became a published author. I feel like we need to do a billboard about you, Pat. I've seen those billboards like with the 99-year-old person who graduated from college. Have you ever seen that one? I think we need to put one with Pat up there because she's young compared to that lady, all right? We do have a free gift too. Erica's going to give everybody a free gift just for sharing, so thank you. It's called the 7 Essentials for Creating a Killer Coaching Business. My business partner, David Branderhorst, is in the back, and he just created this whole thing about the 7 essential elements for creating a coaching business. We're going to give that to everybody with a link. If you're here in person, you want to jot down that URL. So brand new teaching, KaryOberbrunner.com/coaching. It's a free teaching where I take a deep dive into the 7 essentials for creating a killer coaching business. I would talk about that today, but we already have a big agenda. So let's jump right in. How many of you have ever heard about Ferdinand or you've seen it? Has anybody other than me seen this? You've seen it? Okay. Yes? Anybody? Yes? Oh, wow. Look at you. All right. So this is a movie that I would not normally go see just because I'm like, ooh, Ferdinand's out. Let me go watch it with my buddies, you know, all my buddies. No, but the funny thing is, Dean, who is the lead guy here, he texted me on New Year's and he says, hey, at Life Point, on the main service on February 18th. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, sure. And he says, researching, right? He says Ferdinand. And I'm like, what? What is that? So I started Googling it, and I had to watch this to study for the sermon coming up. But here's the point. Here's the funny thing. This movie has a coach in it. You guys know that? This movie has a coach in it. And me in the audience, I'm probably the only nerd in the audience who hears the word coach in my notebook and taking notes from a goat. Okay? I'm serious. From this goat. This goat is the coach in the movie. Now, this is a very encouraging thing for everybody in this room. Do you know why? What does this mean if Pixar makes a movie with a goat as a coach? Let's talk about the positives first before we talk about the negatives. What are some positives? A children's movie, Pixar, one of the main characters is a goat who's a coach. Why would that be encouraging for the coaching industry? Anybody? Mainstream. All right, I like it. I like it. That's what I was looking for. Anybody else want to add to that?
Anybody else? Anybody can do it.
Anybody can be. Okay, fantastic. People that don't have a lot of hair can be coaches, right? Okay. Is that what you were going to say, Joel?
Yeah.
No. Okay. What were you going to say, Joel?
Just validates.
Validates.
You know, it's okay to be vulnerable and get help.
I love it. I love it. So this goat wants to be a coach to coach a bull to one day conquer the matador. Okay, now I'm ruining the whole plot because I know you all are dying to go see this movie now. But this little goat is what's called a calming goat. Okay, a calming goat, which means that the bulls get all crazy and, you know, angry and stuff. So along comes a coach to calm the bull down. Let's see if it actually worked. Okay? Is the goat calm? Does the goat look calm? Not at all, right? So maybe that isn't such a good coach. But what's funny, check this out. Her dream is to find a fighting bull whom she can coach to greatness and prove that there's more to her than meets the eye. Isn't that cool? So I want you to be thinking today that coaches are very powerful. Now, not because they're goats, not because they're going to coach bulls, but I just saw that as a really big encouragement that once you open your eyes up to the coaching industry, literally, there are coaches all around. I would challenge you to name one champion in life, in any industry, arts, athletics, military. Name someone who didn't have a powerful coach. I can't think of any. I thought about that the other day. Who is someone who rose to greatness without a coach? We all want to buy into the self-made man, self-made woman, right, analogy. It just is not true. We are not an island to ourselves. We need a coach. By the way, Erica, did anybody on the online group see Ferdinand? I don't know. I'm just curious. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't. Ask
Yes,
them.
there.
All right, there you go.
Yep.
Fantastic. I'm not the only one. So here's what's very interesting. Now we're going to go away from Pixar. And I was going to show you a clip, but then I thought it would have been a copyright infringement. And then I would have been shut down from the live stream. So I was like, I'm not going to take that risk. But check this out. In the last 10 years, the coaching industry has exploded. A report by market research firm IBIS World at the end of 2014 said coaching is a $1 billion industry in the U.S. alone. So if you look at a chart, coaching is actually on the rise. It's on the rise. And there's some good things about that, why you're here today. If you wanted to start a franchise, a Chick-fil-A franchise or any other franchise, would there be startup costs? Yes, right? Would there be startup costs?
It's a little different.
It's a little bit different. All right.
Chick-fil-A is different.
Chick-fil-A is different.
Yes.
Normal franchises, do you have a lot of money for startup costs? Yes. If you want to invent something as an engineer with a patent or you want to create something, Is there a lot of startup costs usually to do testing and lab and all this stuff, right? Yeah, most things in life today, there's a lot of startup costs. With coaching, do you think that there's a ton of startup costs? What do you think? No, there's not. There's not. That's a big encouragement. Now, there's people out there who say, oh, you know, you need a master's in coaching, you need a master's degree. Every single person, I'm looking at this crowd today, every single person and online has coaching expertise that today they could monetize. Do you agree with that? I'm looking at Adam in the back. Adam, do you think that if you found the right client, you could monetize some coaching?
Sure.
Absolutely. Check this out. Coaching is one of the fastest growing professions. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry producing incredible benefits for the coach and the client. Now, why am I passionate about this? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the backstory. Because I was a nonprofit leader for 12 years. Some of you, Susan, right? Some of you were actually in that organization that I was a nonprofit leader in. Here's the problem, though. I did my bachelor's degree. I did my master's degree. I did my doctorate degree. Had 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, mortgage. Suddenly I wake up at 35 and I'm like, what's going on? You know, I felt for several years that I wasn't fully alive. And how did I make the leap? How would I make the transition to the business world, which was so scary, if I'm honest with you, because that was foreign to me. How many of you, if you're honest, come on, let's be real today. You're kind of intimidated to walk into the business world and call yourself a coach. Anybody? Anybody? You're not being filmed, okay? All right? About half the room. About half the room says, if I'm honest, I feel a little bit intimidated. I felt incredibly intimidated. Absolutely intimidated. In fact, I'm going to do a video in the next month where I'm going to drive to the place on 23 and 270 where I made my first pitch as a coach, and they rejected me, and I'm going to go back there and tell the story because I think it'll be encouraging for a lot of people. I was so intimidated because I was focused on me. You catch that? If you are truly focused on the person in front of you and you are in your skill set, you don't have fear. Because chances are you've been doing coaching for 5, 10, 15, 25 years. Does this make sense? You just didn't call yourself a coach. Is this true for everybody? Come on. Has everybody in the room coached someone in something? Yes, I hear it. Okay. So here's what coaches get the ability to enjoy. Because coaches became the lifeline for me to build a side hustle where then I could replace my income as a person in a 12-year career with benefits. I mean, I got so scared of thinking of getting my own health insurance. That was the big thing. Do you know that? How many of you, let's be honest. In fact, write down on your piece of paper on your phone, write down what's stopping you from coaching. What's stopping you from coaching? For me, health benefits. Literally. I thought, well, that's tricky. I don't know how to get health benefits. And I hear stuff on the news about how expensive it is. I didn't even know the price. But I let these fears stop me from even taking the first step. Health benefits. Okay? I've been paying for my own health benefits now for 6 years. Big deal, right? Big deal. With a family, right? You can make it through, but we let these little things stop us, even though they're not big obstacles. Here's why I think coaching is pretty cool. You can work from whenever, from wherever, with just a laptop or a phone. Is that pretty cool? How many of you feel like, you know what, that would be pretty cool? That'd be pretty cool to travel to a foreign city and say, you know what? I can still pick up the phone on the evenings and coach people, or I can hop on Zoom or Skype and coach people. Another one, convert your knowledge and experience into true value for others. Here's what I'd like you to do online as well. I'd like everybody to identify one topic area where they could literally coach people. Even if it's not your deep passion, it's something that you have knowledge of. Okay? Can you guys write that down? And I'd love to hear it on Facebook. Erica, if you can read off some people's names when they write that down. Who wants to say what their topic would be in the room? In fact, Rob, I'm going to pick on you. Rob, come on up. Let's give Rob a hand. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't know I was doing this, Rob. You came early, so I got to talk with you early before. But hop up, man. Don't hurt yourself. I hurt myself before. Okay. So, Rob, we were talking before.
Yes.
This started today. And you have a passion. It starts with the word D. What is it?
Disney.
Disney. Now, check this out. Disney. You might think, Disney? What are you and your wife starting as a coaching opportunity? You're going to coach people to do what?
We're going to coach people. There's a college internship program through Disney, and we were able to coach our son into that successfully. And we want to help other kids who want to go that route to coach them to get them into that program as well.
I love it. You said 50,000?
It's usually about 50,000 apply each cycle, and 3,000 to 4,000 are accepted.
Do you think there's a market for that?
Yeah.
50,000 people apply for a coaching opportunity with Disney to be able to an internship. You call it?
Internship.
7 months.
7-month college internship.
7 months, and he was able to help his son get in there. Out of 3,000 people, only were picked from that group. Do you guys see how this can happen? Now, all he needs to do is take the solution and break it down into simple steps. We call this a framework. Okay? You don't want to say, hey, I can coach you to do X, Y, Z. Well, how do you do it? Well, I don't know. We're just going to sit down and chat. No. You need a framework, and a framework is simple. It's a solution broken down into simple steps. Have you started working on your framework?
We have started outlining it. We've talked to some other people with some chat groups who are involved. I think it's a great idea. So
awesome.
Actually, we're going to be in Disney next week, so my wife and I are going to sit down and really flesh this out.
I love it. I love it. And I just saw you on Facebook, thought you were having a fun time in Disney, and here you are working. All right. Let's give Rob a hand. Fantastic. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Laura, I'm going to pick on you. Come on up, Laura. And why am I doing this? Laura, yeah? Oh, yeah, Laura. Your name, Laura? All right. Laura, now, you be careful as well, all right? I'll help you. No, you're good. You're good. So, I met Laura a long time ago when you were in one of the largest universities in the world as one of the key people who helped them. What did you call that? Legacy giving, or what did you call that?
Yes, legacy giving or planned giving.
Legacy giving or planned giving. So do you see how she had a 9-to-5 job where she did something, hired by a super large university? Did you have self-limiting beliefs before you hung your shingle and said, I'm going to do this? Now, why do we struggle with that? Do you know why? I know why. Do you know why? Why do you think she could be in the largest university in the world helping people do something, but to go on her own, she struggles? Why is that? What do you think? Go ahead, write online as well.
Security.
Security, why? What does that mean?
Because you don't know if you have that income or if you're going to succeed or fail. And
Okay.
like I said, benefits. And
Benefits, security, was this true?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I had 5 children,
Okay.
single mom, going through a really nasty, scary divorce.
Yeah.
The kids were coming up, going to college.
Sure,
I
all
got
those
the
things.
tuition benefits, health benefits,
Yeah.
all kinds of.
And anyone in your life would
Security.
say, you are crazy, what are you thinking, right?
Yeah, and they
Why-
did. Yeah.
They
When
did.
I left,
You left,
Yeah.
and tell us the result.
so I left, wrote a book, and now, long story short, I'm actually advising financial and professional advisors on how to get their clients to unleash abundance and fund nonprofit work.
You sense the clarity? Unleash abundance. I love that. That's good. So let's give Laura a hand, all right? Fantastic. Yeah, Joel.
I just want to say how awesome it's been to see Laura grow over the last 3 to 4 years.
Yes.
It's really, really cool.
Yes, it's fantastic. Here's why I see a lot of my clients get scared. Because they say, if they reject me when I'm in the university, who are they rejecting? The university. But when I go out and pitch, or when I go out and share my proposal, or ask for the sale, and they say no, who are they rejecting?
Me.
Me. Do you see that? And that's why a lot of people would say, I'll trade my freedom, I'll trade my finances, I'll trade my fulfillment Because at least I know that. This here is scary. It's unknown. Even though it has freedom, finances, and fulfillment, I'd rather take the prison that I know for what's possible, right? Most people are like that. But thankfully, you didn't settle for that. You kept going. Here's another thing. Co-create visible results in the lives of others. A lot of you want to move from success to significance. And this was something that I've done in the last couple of years. Success is great. Personal success is awesome. But when you can see people in the room here become coaches and write their books, and I see, Andy, and you're just taking steps and helping others become souls on fire. That is real significance. And getting paid to do what you love and investing in clients from around the world. I know a lot of people watching today, I've heard this so many times, I love people's unbelief. Do you know that? I love it. I'm like, hey, bring it, bring it. Just yesterday I put on my Facebook update, maybe some of you saw it, I said what about agreement? Did you see that?
Oh, don't agree with their unbelief?
Never agree with other people's unbelief. Exactly. Because so many people say, well, I'm in a small town, and you're telling me I'm going to charge people $100 an hour or $250 an hour? That's nuts. Well, great. You don't live in 1930 anymore, right? All you need to do is pick up your smartphone, and now you're connected with people around the world. In fact, I know colleagues of mine who have purposely stayed in their small little town because they want to, and they run crazy big operations. David knows someone who has a $100 million business, and he's chosen to stay in his little town because he knows he has clients from all over the world. It's possible. All right, coaching clients. Here's what your clients enjoy. You ready? You should write these down if you're going to try to sell people into coaching, okay? Do you need a truth teller? I would encourage you. That's a great conversation starter. Who is your truth teller? Whoa, that's a little different than what was the Buckeye score, right? Right? I mean, but I'll tell you what, that's why I pick up clients. Because I don't just say, oh yeah, hey, Buckeye game last night, I mean, crazy, da-da. Look, there's some of that, but then you say, you know what? In 2018, who's your truth teller? That takes guts to ask that question. And then you just pause and you wait. And here's what we know. Clarity attracts. Clarity attracts and confusion repels. So when you have clarity and you're willing to stay strong and stare at them right in the eye because you care about them, because you love them, because you know they're stuck in their self-limiting beliefs, you know they're not happy with their life, and you say, hey, who's your truth teller in 2018? Well, what does that mean? Who's the one who's willing to call out your blind spots? How many of you are married to a truth teller? I am, right? Right? I mean, I am. She tells me that. I'm your truth teller, right? I get that a lot, right? I have a lot of truth tellers in my life, okay? Chet Scott, some of you know Chet, was my coach for over a decade, a truth teller who helped me escape from my average mindset. Regular accountability for personal and professional goal achievements. Again, look at any industry in the world, the excellent people have coaches because they hold them to the fire. They do not let them get away with excuses. Wisdom and insight from someone who's not directly tied to the outcome. Ouch! Folks, I'm telling you, these are gold, okay? This is your script, okay? Why am I saying that? And I'll tell you why. Many people do not give you the advice that you need because they're scared about the relationship that's involved. Isn't this true? Let's be honest. Aren't there some things that you would like to tell family members, but you never would? Why? Because they're family members. You wouldn't even let a client get away with that. You wouldn't let a friend get away with that. But because they're a family member, you just say, well, I can't be a truth teller. Now, I know we tell ourselves that, and that's part of the reason why we need a coach. Because sometimes when we have a spouse or a friend or someone who's relationally tied to us, they're not going to tell us what we need to hear. And lastly, a confidential relationship, very important. A confidential relationship that leads to more clarity and confidence. I needed someone who would protect my secrets, who, when I was trying to leave my day job, they wouldn't just post it all over the place and say, hey, here's what Kary's thinking about. I wanted that confidential relationship, and that's what a coach provides. Fantastic. I see people taking pictures. Good job. Not of me, by the way. I saw. They were like, get away, Kary. Let me take a picture of the orange screen. So there you go. And I hope online. How are we doing online? Any action going on? What are some topics of people that they could coach in?
Fathers coaching daughters.
Fathers coaching daughters. Wow.
Self-esteem and confidence.
Love it.
How to avoid divorce.
Love it. See, some of these tragedies that we feel like we went through, some of us never want to go near that topic again. Like for self-injury, I used to be a cutter. I used to struggle with self-injury. I could probably be one of the leading coaches in self-injury, but I have zero desire to do that. I'm just being real, okay? It's not, ooh, I'm scared to talk about it. No, I wrote a book called Your Secret Name that's very open and transparent. But I just know that for me, I'm not wired to work with self-injurers for the rest of my life. It's just a personal thing. And some of you might say, well, I went through a divorce, but I never want to be around that. Others of you are saying, I went through a divorce, and actually I learned some stuff that I could help leverage and save people more pain and money. And I know somebody in the room right now, and they have a great business idea because they went through something and now they're going to leverage it to help other people. Amazing. Fantastic. Earn extra income while you're still having a day job. Are you guys learning something? Has everyone learned something so far? Yeah. Just Pete. Okay, good. Anybody else? Anybody else learn something so far? Okay. All right, just checking. Side hustle. I am really for you doing this as a side hustle. When I coach people, I actually tell them, I think you should try it out as a side hustle first. Why do I say that? Anybody? What are some reasons why you should maybe try it out as a side hustle?
The main reason are the statistics of being successful.
Being successful. I think you actually have to work harder in your side hustle. I think you have to worry about discipline and priorities because you don't have endless hours. In fact, I've known people who've taken the plunge and they've said, I'm going from an office, full-time job, and I'm just going to start my thing. And I realize sometimes we can't choose that. Sometimes we're handed that, and that's okay. But there's other times where I tell people, I don't think you should. Because just to have endless hours all day, every day, you don't have the hustle, you don't have the determination, the prioritization that sometimes comes with a side hustle. Again, I realize not all circumstances allow that, but check this out. In 2013, I've shared this one other time before, that's it. In 2013, 5% of the population had a side hustle. Think about that, 2013. It sounds like a long time ago. 5 years ago.
Wow, true.
6.8 million people had a side hustle. That means they had a job, and they also had another job on the side. Look at these numbers in 2017, 4 years, okay? 18% of the population, 44 million people. That is big. Look at the shift. In 4 years, it didn't just double. It didn't just triple. Do you guys see what's going on? People are saying that the internet and the online business world is opening doors that have never been around before. This is absolutely huge. How many of you have ever had a side hustle or currently do? Raise your hand. Where you've had one job, but you've also worked a second one. It's like 80% of the room. We're the weird ones, okay? Look at us. We're not 18% of the room, like 85% of the room. This is in, again, I like to give documentation for all my statistics, okay? This was in the Bureau of Labor Statistics. There's the arrow, 5% at the end of 2013. So if you want to know, like, where is he getting this? Is he just trying to make things up? Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's where multiple job holding over the past 2 decades, that's where the article was for 2013. Let's go to 2017. CNN Money. CNN Money. Okay? More than 44 million Americans have a side hustle according to this bank rate study. So folks, you are in the gold rush of this generation. Remember years ago, like with the gold rush, you'd probably climb up on Grandpa's knee and say, you know, Grandpa, where were you in the gold rush? And you hope he would say, well, you know, I was trying to make things happen. I was taking advantage of it. Not, I was growing my rock garden. Okay? Right? You're going to have kids come up to you someday, grandkids, kids, nieces, nephews, whatever, and they're going to say, Grandma, Grandpa, Uncle, you know, Aunt, where were you in 2018 when the digital gold rush was happening? And if you say, well, you know what? There was this thing called Netflix, and I really wanted to just watch it all the time. And that's what I did. Right? Or, you know what? There's this thing called Xbox, and I got hooked into this virtual reality, but I won the level. Okay? I won the level. In fact, here's my screenshot. Okay? Look, you're alive at a time where it's unprecedented. I mean, look at this. We're live streaming this thing today. Do you realize 10 years ago, this would be like a $100,000 operation minimum to live stream globally? And now we just say, let's pick up our smartphone. Boop. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is a picture that kind of illustrates today how people are making a living in different scenarios. Now, this is taken from one of my books called Day Job to Dream Job. It's in the back as well. But this is what we call the influence and income scale. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I'm just being honest, okay? So hang with me. When you give the marketplace theory, okay, when you are a theorist, your compensation level is low. Is this true? How many of you ever had a professor, and I have had a good one in the back peak, you know, very good professor. Some professors, though, not relevant, dust off their notes from 35 years ago, all right, and they're teaching business, and they've never been in the business world, okay, and they're dusting off their notes from 35 years ago. They're collecting a paycheck. Do you think they're making tons of money? Usually educators. No. Now, I love my kids' teachers. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, in the marketplace, educators are not known as, like, bringing in the bank, right? Tactical managers. Managers are usually tactical, so they're giving tactics. They usually move up in the pay scale. Transformational business coaches. What are you providing? Transformation with someone's life. And then notice influence and income scale. I'm not just saying income, but I'm saying a lot of times the influence and income scale, someone who offers transcendence, i.e. Mother Teresa, she didn't get paid much at all, right? Anything. But she had tons of influence. Just watch her life, right? So again, this isn't just a rule across all times. I know there are exceptions. But as a general rule, if you want to make higher income, you need to be giving a great benefit. And when you can say, hey, let's work together, don't pay me until you get results, and I'm going to help you with transformation, it's pretty powerful. I did a Google search this morning, okay? So this morning I did a Google search. Because of the high stakes, executive coaches on average make more than other coaches. You catch that? Executive coaches. According to the 6th annual Sherpa study, executive coaches make approximately $325 an hour, compared to $235 for small business and $160 for life coaches. So this is an independent study that was done. This is their study, okay? You guys catching it? Let's talk now about, let's break it down. Who wants a 6-figure coaching business? Anybody? Okay. Some of you don't. That's okay. All right. We'll talk later. Here's what you can do. Literally, I just broke this down for you. As a side hustle. First of all, if you're in a business, day job. Let's say you're in a day job. Do you think you could find 5 hours a week extra?
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay. What about 10 hours a week?
Yep.
Okay. By the way, the average U.S. citizen watches 3 hours of TV a day. Just saying, okay? Now, I'm not saying they're not doing anything else, but I'm saying they're watching TV. So now do you think you could find 15 hours a week? about 20? 20, maybe. I think 20 is like tough, but 20, I think 20, because people say, look, you're a dad, you're a husband, you had a day job, and you wrote 4 books. And they say, how did you do that? I said, I had 0 social life, okay? Meaning I didn't go biking with the guys, I didn't go hunting with the guys, I didn't go to the games with the guys. I said, you know what? I believe that this book's inside me and I gotta write this book. Okay, so not saying that's right for other people, but I found 20 hours with 3 kids under 6 years old and a husband and a day job. So I'm just saying, we all can use excuses, or we can say, you know what, I'll find the time, I'll make the time. So check it out. One-on-one coaching, if you do $100 an hour and you have 20 clients a week, which is, that's a lot. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot. It's $100,000. Now, I'm just using this as numbers. You could go lower. You could say half that. You could say a quarter of that. Would anyone like an extra $25G a year? Okay, fine. 5 hours a week. Okay? Now, one-on-one coaching, $250 an hour, 20 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, $250,000 a year. Okay? So, I'm just using these just to say, look, I'm not recommending this. I'm just saying, hey, let's just put numbers on the page. What I found out very early on is group coaching, for me, was where it was at. I had a few private one-on-one clients, but you can see in my history that I very quickly moved to deeper path coaching. What do we call these deeper path coaching? Cohorts. How many of you went through a deeper path coaching cohort? Raise it. About half the room, right? So you went through one of David and I's group coaching experiences. And we charged $500 for a 10-week coaching course. And we had 5 when we first started, 10, 15. Sometimes we even had 20 people. Now do the math. 20 people, hour session. Somebody do the math, literally, because I can't do the math, okay? I cannot do the math on stage while people are watching, okay? Truth is, I can't do it even when people aren't watching, but Joel, do the math. Get your little calculator out if you can, all right? So let's do this. $500 times 20 people, okay? You got that? What is that? 10,000. 10 weeks, which is an hour. So $1,000 an hour, okay? Now, if it's 2 hours, $500 an hour. Do you see where this is going? You see how it was possible to leave my day job after I started running a few coaching cohorts? You see this? Okay. Group coaching. You have $100 an hour. You have 5 people in a group. You do 20 of these, 500,000. And then again, if you do group coaching, 5 in a group, you're making $250 an hour, and you have 20 of those, $1.25 million, okay? Check my math, do it later, it's all good. I try to break it down hourly. But you guys see the point. You see how this can scale pretty quickly. Question?
And then how can you expand that even more by not trading your time for money?
Yeah. Here's what David and I did. In fact, let's give David a hand and bring him up on the stage. Yeah. Because listen, I can't have all the fun. I can't have all the fun. So let's not talk theory. So David, there came a point where when I drove away from Joel's office for the first time and said, hey, I picked up a one-on-one client. He's an awesome guy. His name's Joel Kessel. Look at you now, right? I think you're doing amazing things. But then we moved into live coaching cohorts. When did we decide to go into self-study coaching courses? Do you remember what year that was? I don't even remember.
It was probably about 2 years in, wasn't it? I think
Probably.
we probably had about at least 18 months of doing live for sure.
Okay.
And then we got one of the things you got to remember is you got to get really good at your craft. So use that time to refine it. And when you have that time to interact with people live, what you're doing is you're getting an opportunity to get lots of feedback. And so you can tweak things. You can say, oh, somebody's bringing up this point that I didn't think about before. I need to incorporate that. I need to bring something in to address that point. So by the time you've done these several times and you've gone through the process over and over again, you've got the system down. You've got this, you know what the questions are going to be, you know what the process is, and you've got a really comprehensive model out there. So really, the time is less important probably than the number of times you do it. The more you can repeat, the more you're going to hammer it down and get it to really define, know what your questions are going to be ahead of time, and that's when you can really develop a model that can be automated and run by itself.
So why would we record our coaching group sessions and then make it a self-study? What did that do for our business when I could step back from doing group coaching? Do you think our business stayed the same? Do you think it took off? What do you think?
Oh, it absolutely took off, because what you realize is that it's all about growing yourself as well. You're getting to that point where you've grown here and you've done this and you've really mastered that level. And now you make this available at a level that people can still go through the course, they can still go through the program, but you're layering yourself up to the next level. You're going up to the next part where you're going to do the next thing in the journey, and you're going to coach on that and do that. And there's this whole process of them bringing that in, and then that becomes a layer that people can still do, but we don't have to be involved with it on a hands-on basis. We can put it out there. We can bring other coaches in, people who have gone through the program. We can certify them, give them the ability. They can coach people, or we can bring in people on a self-study basis, and then we can move on to other products, programs, and services and expand the reach of what we have going on and be able to take the reach of the business a lot further.
Excellent. Let's give David a hand. All right. It's not that I ever said, you know what, I don't like people, I don't want to coach them anymore. Not at all. But when I ran my 25th Deeper Path coaching cohort, I realized that, you know what, I could either do this the rest of my life, and part of me wanted to. I'll be honest, part of me said, it's amazing to see people author their opus, come alive, get clarity, or, you know what, there's other things inside my heart that I need to pursue because I'm creative like I think everyone is. I don't believe some people are creative. I believe everyone's creative.
And you can't get to 1 million people that way.
Can't get to 1 million people. Exactly. And let's face it, sometimes those coaching programs didn't fit people's schedule or time zone. And so now you're tied to live coaching where, oh, I'm sorry you're in the UK and it's 3 a.m. Good luck. Okay? So again, do you want to grow this thing or not, right? Jeff had a question.
Just a clarification.
Yeah.
Can you clarify the weekly frequency number again?
Yeah.
Is that 20 hours or?
So what I assumed was that if I had and again, dude, I did this early in the morning, check my math later, okay, if I did it wrong, all right? But here's the point. What I'm trying to say is when I did the Deeper Path, it was actually much more than 5 people. Okay, it was like 15, 20 people, sometimes 10. I think your group was 10. Chaz, Rob, all these people. But what I did is I just assumed that if it was a 10-week Deeper Path course, 10 sessions, 10 hours, 5 people going through it, you charged $100, you would just then need to run 5 coaching cohorts a year, so that meant 50. You see where I'm trying to go with this? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because I'll confuse myself. That's why David is my business partner with math. Yes, and yes, you can make it in life without being genius in math. Okay. I'm just saying. So let's keep going. You guys ready to keep going? All right. You want to know the single most and second highest thing that people look for in a coach? You ready? Or should I just skip that slide? You want to see the number one thing by the Harvard Business Review and the second highest thing about, okay, all right, thank you, Pete. So Harvard Business Review, what coaches can do for you. This is available online. You can check my resources. The top 3 reasons why coaches are engaged. Number 1, develop high potential in people or facilitate transitions, not just employment transitions, life transitions, marriage transitions, college transitions. Coaches are engaged to develop high potential in others and to facilitate transition. Number 2, to act as a sounding board, that truth teller I was telling you about, that accountability. And number 3, address derailing behavior. Guess which of those 3 I don't work with? I don't want that. This is the beauty of coaching. You can choose your clients. Don't put me with problem people that are victims. No, I can't coach them. They're uncoachable. So I only work with people who want success, this type of thing. All right, let's keep going. How much does it cost? This is the Harvard Business Review. I believe this was 2006 or 8. Crazy. High was $3,500 an hour. Low was $200 an hour. The median cost out of all the people surveyed, because there was major discrepancy between the top 1%, $500 an hour. So again, back before I gave you charts, numbers on the charts, I tried to pick $100 an hour. You guys know to go to a Cavs game and get a horrible seat, it's $100 an hour? I mean, $100 a ticket, right? $100 is not what it was back when I was a kid, and it's probably not what you were a kid either, right? So what I'm saying is $100 an hour to create life-changing results in someone, I think that's worth it, okay? Now, I know people that'll never pay a dime to be coached. Great. They're probably stuck, and that's fine. You don't work with those people. Well, now let's talk about why you're 67% more likely to succeed. How's the online crowd going? Good stuff? Yeah, learning things? Okay. All right. This blew my mind. This was a study, again, Harvard Business Review, why going all in on your startup might not be the best idea. This was a study done at least a decade long. It was done out of Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, and they surveyed thousands of Americans. It was done in the University of Wisconsin-Madison. They said that people who staged their departure were 67% more likely to succeed, or 33% less likely to fail. This study, check it out. I know this is small. Let me just read it to you. Steve Wozniak at HP. Steve Jobs. Pierre launched eBay. Did you check this out? Look at all the people here who launched while they had a side jobs. It says right here, Steve Wozniak remained an employee of HP long after co-founding with Steve Jobs. Pierre launched eBay while working for a software company. Henry Ford founded the Detroit Automobile Company while employed by the Edison. Come on, Henry Ford and Thomas Edison together? That would be a cool lunch. All right, I'm just saying. Worked at Edison Illuminating Company and started the Ford business, right? Meanwhile, a 1997 survey in the midst of entrepreneurial explosion inspired by the internet revealed that 20% of the CEOs of the U.S. 500 fastest growing companies had continued to hold paying jobs. So this whole dream that we hear on the internet, again, I realize not everyone can be in the same boat. Sometimes we're handed our papers. That's fine. You make it happen. And there's tons of success stories in that camp too. But I'm just saying, this thing of I have a day job. Well, own that day job, okay? Go after it. Stop complaining. Stop being a victim and start creating a side hustle. All right, that's my advice to people. A lot of people want to go out on their own, but they're concerned about risks. They have a family, they have bills to pay every month. A hybrid arrangement permits one to start a business in a small scale with less sunk cost and downside risk. It allows you to be creative. You don't have the gun at your head every day sometimes where you feel like you got to bring in the cash, okay? All right, let's talk about the number one thing people look for in a coach: experience in coaching. Now, what did I just tell you? Did you all just raise your hand a second ago that said you've coached people? Did you? Did you raise your hand? Online, did you raise your hand? Online. I want to hear it. Did you raise your hand online? You just said that you already qualify. With the number one reason why people hire a coach, why a coach gets hired, is because they have experience. Does Rob have experience in helping get that Disney scholarship? Absolutely. Does Laura have experience in helping big organizations get legacy donations? Yes. Sometimes, here's what you can do. You can write down all the trauma you had in your life. I have experience in whatever. Write it down. For me, self-injury, stuttering. Okay? I could just start going through the list. Getting dumped by a girlfriend, right? Getting kicked out of a grad school because I confessed that I struggled with self-injury. I could write down all the things that I've ever struggled with in life and said, hey, there's some experience, right? So it's all about how you look at it. It's all about how you look at it. Number 2, though, this is huge. This is huge. 61%, and these are all new slides that you're about to see, 61% have a clear methodology. Very important. I'm going to rip on the coaching industry here for a moment. I might be ripping on you. I'm not going to apologize, okay? And here's why. I've done a lot of coaching study in my life. And when coaches, when all they know is the life wheel model, I think there's something wrong. I think there's something wrong. I'm not against the life wheel. But I'm saying that if this is your secret in the bag, this is your silver bullet, you're going to struggle. Why? What is the life wheel? Not against it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You list different categories of your life: leisure, money, career, family, friends, romance, spiritual, personal growth. The person rates it. Oh, I'm a 5 here. I'm a 1 here. I'm a 10 here. Then they draw it, and then you say, oh, let's work on that area. Great. That took your first 2 coaching sessions. Now what's next? And most coaches don't know what's next. Most coaches do not know where to lead people. Just being real. And I know that I'm slapping the coaching industry in the face a little bit, because with coaching, you're just supposed to ask questions. And yes, that is the case. Questions help with coaching very much. But I also like direction. Does anybody else like direction when they're paying a high bill? Okay? So I'm not into ripping people off. Joel, you and I had a coaching relationship for years. I never had you sign a contract. You never had to say I'm in for 10 sessions, 5 sessions, 3 years, did you? I said, if I don't like you someday and you don't like me someday, we're done, right? Any day, right? That's how it worked. That's how comfortable I was saying, Joel, I will help you get results. So when people want a coach, in my opinion, they often don't know where they are. They often don't know where they want to go. Is this true? Is this true? Yes. Many times they're like, something's off, I'm stuck, people are telling me I'm having issues, or you know what, I keep running into obstacles. Well, what do you want? I just don't know. I can kind of paint it for you. Here's what I say: clarity comes with action. Clarity comes with action. And so what I do in our coaching programs, and this is where some of you are just getting your tank full, you're loving it, fantastic. Others of you, if you hate it, there's the door. But I'm going to share that, yes, this is a free thing today, and I'm deeply passionate about our Igniting Souls coaches. So I'm going to share a little bit about our process and our team, because I love our coaches. You see the sad dude? Can you guys see that? You see the happy dude, right? How do you get from there to there? Many times in life, people say, they don't say it like this, but they say, I don't know who I am. Right? I mean, it doesn't come out like that, but you look at their behavior, they're not confident in who they are. They're covering, they're hiding, there's some imposter syndrome going in, they're self-sabotaging the results, they're not outperforming their own self-image. I say it like this: they need to reset their self-image set point. We all have a self-image set point. That means when we look in the mirror, we look back and we see either a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. And you can look in the mirror and see yourself as a 1, and then put on the mask and pretend you're a 10 and go out and conquer the world. The problem is, you know the truth. And we also know that you're not going to outperform your own self-image. Folks, I was a nonprofit leader Pete knew me in college. I was the assistant chaplain. I had all these titles. I had all these roles. And I was cutting back in my dorm room. You think I was really successful? No. It came out. It leaked out. It always does. What had to change is I had to reset my self-image set point. I had to go from a 2 to a 10 in a real, authentic way. Not a fake way, not self-affirmations, look in the mirror, I'm great, I'm wonderful. Some real resetting of the self-image set point. We do this through a process called your Secret Name 5-week journey. It's a 5-week journey. How many of you have been through it? Awesome. It changes the way you see yourself. In the process, you find your new name. It's very powerful. Okay? We have another program. I'm trying to show you guys again. What am I showing you? The methodology. Okay? This isn't just, hey, Kary's showing us slides. I'm saying that the second highest reason why people hire you is because you say, I got a method. I got a framework. I got a system. I got a process. And when you come with confidence, people say, well, tell me about it. And you say, in week 1, here's what we're going to do. In week 2, then we're going to go through this. In week 3, you're going to discover this. People want that. It creates buying confidence. All right, let's go to the purpose. A lot of people are saying, I just feel like I'm going through the motions. These are ways they say it. I feel like I'm going in circles. I feel like there's a missing piece of the puzzle. I feel like I'm just, going on fumes. These are all purpose statements. They need a GPS for their dream. A GPS for their dream. They need clarity around their purpose. We say it like this. They need clarity, competence, confidence, so that it creates influence, impact, and income. I'll say that again. They need clarity, competence, and confidence, so that it leads to influence, impact, and income. We call that the deeper path payoff. These are why our deeper path coaches, they know the benefits. Oh, I'm going to meet with you. We're going to get clarity first. Then we're going to get really clear on what you're competent in. And then we're going to actually start building your confidence so that you can earn influence. People pay attention before they pay you cash. Do you know that? That's not just a cute saying. They pay attention. If people aren't paying attention to you, they're not going to pay you cash. First, you get influence. Then you create impact in their life. Then they give you income. All right? Other people are saying, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. But I have no clue how to get where I'm supposed to be. I'm in my day job. I'm stuck. I need to know my dream job. This is the 9-step process to go from prison to plan to payoff. From prison to plan to payoff. You go from the Shawshank of your day job to the Zihuatanejo of your dream job. And that's the Dream Job Boot Camp. All right? So, you guys catching so far? So, David and I, years ago, we said, look, there's only 2 of us. Now I think we had a team meeting the other day, Renee. I think there was 12 of us. So I think we've grown quite a bit. We're still growing. The point is this. People began asking us, we love your secret name. We love the deeper path. We love day job as dream job. Can we be certified on it? And at first, I'll be honest, I talked with my dad. Don't tell him I'm saying this. He's not a Facebooker. But my dad said, why? Why would you write a book, create a coaching program, and then certify other people on it? Good question. And I'll tell you why. Because it happened a few Februaries ago when I was in Columbus and spent all day with my kids and wife on a Sunday. We played Hi-Ho Cheerio or something, I don't know. Had a little crackling fire. Everything was great. That night I go to Facebook, I look and I say, oh my gosh. Elias had a Your Secret Name conference in New Zealand today. That's crazy. And I said, Desiree had one in New Jersey. That's amazing. And Daphne had one in Arkansas. All in a Sunday while I'm chilling with my family. They're changing lives and igniting souls. That's why we did it, okay? Our coaches keep 100% of their profits. We never come back and say, well, you had 5 clients this period. You need to give us a cut. We have a very unique model but we have a Your Secret Name team, a Deeper Path team, and a Day Job to Dream Job team. We call these speakers, coaches, and trainers. So literally, when I write a book now, I create a slideshow for it. I create a program for it. David and I co-create that. We create mastermind guides. We create retreat scripts. We create enough for you to do this in, by the way, you'll never do this one in the corporate world, so just telling you. Okay, this one's faith-based and school system-based. We have gone to the public school systems and helped them through Your Secret Name, bullying, anti-bullying, all these powerful life change. I often put pictures up when I go speak into schools, but very powerful, Your Secret Name. It literally helps kids and adults rediscover who they were created to be. Deeper Path, lots of corporations like this because they know, check it out, that according to the Gallup poll, only 28% of their people are highly engaged. Did you check that? The Gallup poll, all cultures, 28% of people in a job are highly engaged. The rest are actively disengaged, right, or not engaged. Crazy. So corporations love the Deeper Path because people get clarity around what's called their opus, right? Their overarching vision, their purpose, their unifying strategy, and their scorecard for significance. And then Dream Job coaches, a lot of people today say, I want to start my side hustle. I need a coach. Remember those 44 million Americans, right? So these are our teams. Your Secret Name, Deeper Path, and Day Job and Dream Job. They're all considered Igniting Souls team members. And it's super simple. And we're going to get into some Q&A. I'm going to spend the last 18 minutes answering any type of question you have related to coaching. But I'm going to ask Rob if you can pass these to anybody who... I think we have enough for everybody, because I know some are already coaches. But Erica's going to share some links online, too. Here's the thing. We only open up our teams 4 times a year. We have not opened them up since September. So we had the conference in October. We had things in November. We had things in December. This is the first time we're opening the coaching team in 2018. The application is free, okay? We literally just want to know, in 100 words or less, why you would want to be a coach. Either helping people with their identity, who they are, their purpose, why they're here, or their direction, where they're going. So, in 100 words or less, why do you want to be a coach? And Erica's sharing these links online. What are your unique strengths? And then, how will you use the content in the program? That's it. 3 questions. And we, as a team, we look over that, and we like to see if it's a match. If it's a match, we basically share the next steps with you. This is not a $20,000 program. It's not a $10,000 program. It's not a $5,000 program. It's not a $1,500 program. You would be shocked at how low it is for us to literally help you become a coach, a speaker, and a trainer, certified on our content, and for the rest of your life keeping the profits. There's no renewal. There's no, hey, you gotta stay up. What do we do then? We basically help people with their coaching business. And I'm going to give you 9 quick reasons, okay? They're on the back as well of that application. But here's 9 reasons why you might want to consider this in 2018. Number 1, worldwide certification. We do not have regions. We do not say, oh, you can only speak in your little geographic area. This is when you are certified on one of our contents, you can go anywhere. Anywhere in the U.S., anywhere in the world, and you can coach, speak, and train with my slides, my scripts, my PowerPoints, our bumper videos. You can make it your own, and get this. People like Renee and others, we even let co-brand our content with yours. Meaning that if you say, well, gee, Kary, I don't want to just use your content, no problem. It's a tool, right? Kathy, you're doing this as well. In fact, come on up, Kathy. Let's get Kathy in. She just won an award. Come on up, Kathy. So, what is this award that I saw? Like, I don't know, Cool Person of the Year? What was it?
Outstanding Woman Entrepreneur.
Outstanding Woman Entrepreneur. Well, listen, that's amazing. I've never won that award. All right? I've never won the Man Award either. So, good job for you.
Thank you.
Now, are you certified in one of our programs?
I'm certified in all 3.
Really? Well,
Yes.
I didn't know that. I
Yes.
didn't know. So, your passive income coach. You see how she co-branded it? She's got her own gig. She's got her own business. You're crushing it, but you use the content at
Yes.
times as a tool in your toolbox.
Yes.
How does that work?
Absolutely.
How does it work for you?
Well, first of all, being a single mom and working, 2 jobs, working payday to payday and doing all of that for years, I have a real passion. When I went through the deeper path, I have a real passion for single moms and young couples, anyone that's like infinitely broke. And we all know people like that, which that was me. So that's kind of my opus, and that's my passion. So I'm using your secret name. I just launched a program, Fit for Life, and for healthcare, and Pat's with me.
Yeah, all right.
And anyway, I'm talking to these women about, on their secret name, changing their set point.
Yeah.
And then also going through a program called Fit for Life, and we're doing them back to back.
Love it.
So this is my second Your Secret Name, my first Fit for Life. We have like 10 gals
Fantastic.
going through the program. So
Fantastic. What you charge for one of those can be pays for your team
yes.
in and of itself. So this is the type of thing, folks, where if you choose to be a teammate, you got to apply. We got to make sure it's a good fit. But what you do your first time will actually pay for it. So the risk is like non-existent. Fantastic.
Right.
I'll give you a hand down here so you don't fall, okay? All right. So folks, that's why we do it. We do it because we want to ignite 1 million souls around the world. We even have part of the program now where you can actually resell some of the self-study content. So if you want, you can do that as well. You can become essentially someone who runs your own Your Secret Name courses, or you can just include your coaching and make me do the video teaching through the self-study process, and that's fantastic as well. If you feel like, well, I don't really know the content that good, fantastic. You do the coaching part of it, you help people out, and then I'll do the video teaching as well. The other thing is total profit. You keep 100% of your profits, honorariums. Brian Wagner's not here. How much did he make last speech? Do you remember what he said? $3,000 for a speech, and guess how much I got? 0. Right? So again, we love that. We love it when our coaches, speakers, and trainers get out there. He's done a TED Talk now. I mean, he's crushing it. And a lot of our speakers, coaches, and trainers are. Pat and Erica have done a Your Secret Name event with ladies. And I think you have another one coming up, Pat?
Deeper path.
Deeper path. You're going to the next one. Fantastic. It's a great way to move your clients through. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Let me go back. Daily support. Every one of our coaches, speakers, and trainers has daily support in our private community. Any question they have, they just ask. We're there for them. For life, okay? We do quarterly trainings. Here's just one snapshot of one that I did. But we have sometimes a ton of people, sometimes just a few people can show up. We always record them. And these are quarterly trainings that are about how to get clients, how to get gigs, how to optimize your website, these types of things. Again, sometimes there's a lot of people on. Video training, we give you all the stuff that I do as I go out and speak. Tomorrow I'm going to Tennessee. The same stuff I use, you get, okay? Audio training as well, transformational resources, object lesson slides, workbooks, leader guides, marketing tools. We give you promotional partnership, which means you get an email, Kathy@deeperpath.com, and then you have a bio, a link back to your website. So we start promoting you as one of our coaches as well, and then a global community. These are 9 reasons why you might want to seriously consider now, because we shut the teams on Tuesday. So we open today, and we shut them in 6 days, and that's it. For a minimum of a quarter, an entire quarter, and those who miss out, miss out. So, David, I think the call to action is just this. If you're in the room now and you want to fill it out, fantastic. We'll look at it, give you an answer within 24 hours or online. So I'm going to spend the last 10 minutes answering people's questions. I love Dennis. By the way, I don't know what slides are coming next, so I think I'm almost at the end. I'm going to just click them a little bit here. But Dennis joined on June 28th. His first client was July 10th. I mean, crazy. But he said, look, I'm gonna go through the content, I'm gonna get good, and I'm gonna get my first client, and boom. Literally, June 28th to July 10th, that's what happened. Here's the other thing. I made an announcement in the tribe, David and I, tonight at 8:30. It's gonna be short, because I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. But we are announcing a surprise. We've wanted to be doing this now for probably 5 years. It finally happened. So tonight we're going to tell all of our past members what they're getting in addition, free, no charge. And all the new people are going to get that as well. So tonight in the tribe we're going to announce that. So that's pretty exciting, 8:30 p.m. And again, we're growing. I think it started with Adam and Joel, right? And we're growing across the globe. We're excited. So we'd love for you to be a part. It's on paper or online. Who's got questions? 9 minutes of questions. Anything related to the coaching business in general? Kathy.
My question is, since I'm just now launching my coaching business in the last, I'm going to say 2 months.
Right.
When I do individual coaching, I'm realizing that I'm putting in a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of hours, but I'm putting in a certain amount of hours of research for that particular client because I may not know their business or,
sure.
And so of course that kind of cuts into the hourly rate. So how much research
Come on up. The only reason I'm having you come up is because our online people, they don't want to look at a bald dude with a girl's name just standing on the stage. They'd rather look at you, Miss Entrepreneur, Woman of the Year, or whatever you are, right? So you said that you had to do a lot of research on clients.
And more on some and less on others,
Yeah.
but it depends on their background and what they're bringing to the table and what their questions are. And so then I go, I'll get back to you on that. So
Yeah.
then I have to go and do my research, and sometimes it's, I think, a considerable amount of time, and sometimes it isn't, depending on if it's
Let's
some
role
of my...
play. Can we role play? Let's role play. All right, let's role play. Yeah, all right. So then the reason why I'm doing this is because I think sometimes as coaches, and I'm not saying you, but I think sometimes when I first started, thought I needed to have all the answers, right? Like, oh my gosh, what if they ask me a question and I don't know the answer? So what I'd rather do is play a little bit of coaching with you. Give me an example. Like,
Well, I had a gal contact me who is a psychologist, and she has got degrees,
yeah.
And so the first thing that happened to me is I became a little intimidated.
Okay,
by
so
that.
stop. You guys seeing this?
Yeah.
You seeing what's going on right now? Come on, let's all be honest. Have we had this experience? Someone comes to us, we get a phone call, their letters are down to here, and what are we focused on right now? Me, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. I've been in rooms with people who make tons more money, tons more impact, tons more influence, and I mean, you've seen some of the pictures, right? I mean, the warden from Shawshank, I don't know the first thing about Hollywood or anything. What I've learned is that anytime I see myself going somewhere mentally, I don't judge myself, but I say, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that Pam is calling me and I'm starting to think about what I'm starting to say instead of hearing her question? Isn't that interesting? And I just start observing myself. If you've ever seen the movie Inception, when, I know this is a weird analogy, but it helps me, even if it helps me. When Leonardo DiCaprio starts realizing he's in a dream, that's when hell breaks loose in the movie, okay? When he doesn't realize he's in a dream, everything's fine. So once I start realizing I'm starting to pull, then I say, isn't that interesting? And I try to then come back, okay? Because the answer's there. You don't need to go find the answer out there and, hey, Pam, let me get back to you. You can even turn the question around. So let's play a little bit. So what happened? Pam calls, asks some questions.
She asked some questions, and
Well, give me one, if you can remember.
The first thing that she wanted to know is that she has purchased some program that I had never heard of.
Okay.
And she spent quite a bit of money on it, and it's a whole platform because she's wanting to leave her profession.
Yep.
And she of course saw my title, the passive income coach, and she's wanting to leave her profession, and she's actually wanting to do what many of us in this room are doing. She's wanting to write, she's wanting to put together online programming, and she's wanting to get out of
Let's play.
her
I'm
profession.
Kathy, you're Pam.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Okay, I bought this program, I lost a lot of money on it, and now I don't know how to use it, and can you help me learn how to use this program?
That's a great question, Pam. You know what? I've never heard of that particular program. Why did you buy that program in the first place?
Well, several of my friends had it, and they said this was the one. This was the one I needed because it does everything. It allows me to write. It allows me to do my email campaigns. It allows me to do all of my research, and I do it all in one place.
Okay. So did you buy this to fill in the blank? I bought this program to help me what?
Launch my
business.
My business.
And you were hoping it would save you time?
Yes.
You were hoping it would save you money?
Yes.
And it hasn't.
Because I don't know how to use it. I just need somebody to show me how to use it.
Excellent. So what is your question for me today?
Can you help me learn how to use this program?
Interesting. Now, when you bought that program, did they offer support?
They did, but it seems very confusing to me. And I see what you're doing online, and I kind of want to do some of that too. So I thought you could help me do that.
Excellent. What if my answer, Pam, is that I don't know that program, but if we outline the objectives you want to achieve, and I personally think there's certain ones in that program that you just don't need. Because a lot of times we buy these programs that give us the kitchen sink, and all we need is one tool. So what happens if you and I sit down and really identify what you need, and then we create a plan, whether it's that program or whether it's free tools? Would that be helpful to you?
Probably.
Okay. You see, what I'm saying is that a lot of times it's deeper questions, right? Did you guys feel like I was super nervous or anything?
No.
Okay. What was the strategy, Laura? How did you feel as an outsider with that?
Like you were really interested in Pam.
Okay.
And that you weren't trying to be somebody else just so you could get the client.
Okay. What did I admit?
You don't know.
I don't know that program. Is that bad?
No.
Do you think it actually draws the client toward you or away from you?
Toward you.
Why?
You're being honest.
And what would have happened if I would have faked it and been like, well, blah, 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 blah. What, would I have lost the client?
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Because in my mind, if you had said, let me get back to you,
Yeah.
that would have said, oh, he doesn't know, he's faking it, he's going to come back to me, and he's not really listening. He's trying to make himself look good.
Okay.
Well, my fear was that she would think if I said, let me get back to you, that she would think, oh, Kathy's going to go research, and then she's going to try to sell me something.
Okay.
Right.
And I didn't want her to think that I was going to try to sell her something.
So a lot of my coaching strategy, again, I don't do one-on-one clients anymore, but a lot of my strategy is just to hear the question behind the question. She's obviously frustrated, perhaps stressed, perhaps she feels like she was lied to. Mm-hmm. And sometimes David and I get this a lot where people come in to the sale with a lot of baggage. They think we're that guy or that girl, or hopefully not that girl, that guy. But they're angry about a past thing. And if we try to go with them and say, well, our program's different, you just got to take time with people. And I've actually apologized for the other person and said, I can't believe they did that. I am so sorry. Here's how our program's different, and we guarantee, So I think Joel, this might have sold you, but I put a guarantee on the coaching. If the session is not worth the results that you're getting, then let's not continue the relationship. What does that do if you're the client? As opposed to, you want to join my coaching program, it's 35 sessions, half up front.
Takes away the risk.
Takes away the risk. So I think you have it in you. Seriously, I think you have it in you. I mean, you're the entrepreneur woman of the year. Come on, right? So she's got it in her, but don't feel like you have to prove. Because you admitted, and I'm so glad she was honest. The list of degrees was down to here, and I felt. That's the key right there. She's becoming a better coach because she's becoming self-aware, saying, when I get around someone who's really got their act together, I feel a little bit nervous. Great. So now you can say, isn't that interesting that when Susie called me, I'm starting to feel that temperature rise in anxiety. I'm going to intentionally focus on her.
That's my word of the year, by the way, is intentional.
I love it. I love it. Good job.
Thank
okay?
you.
Awesome.
Can I
I'll
point
help
out
you.
something else
Go for it.
also?
Go for it.
What I saw was she came to you with, I want to learn this specific program.
Yep.
Which if she learned that specific program, she'd know that specific program. What you were offering to her was, how do I go about learning any program?
Any program. Good.
Not just that specific program.
Love it. Love
So
it.
you were teaching her how to fish.
Fantastic.
Not just giving her a fish.
Fantastic. Yeah, I feel like the more I have an agenda and the more I have a presentation when I sit with someone who's a prospective client, the more I miss them and it goes wrong. I feel like when you show up filled up, it's what we teach, show up filled up, you have something to give. Anybody else? Questions, comments, thoughts? Yeah, we'll just take one or two more. Yeah.
How do you go from giving it away for free
Yeah.
to now
Charging.
for
Yeah, that's a great question. Joel, I'm going to bring you up. Come on up, Joel. So, Joel, I love not having to give the answer, okay? So, Joel, this happened. I mean, let's just talk about what really happened. Today, Joel's got a podcast. He's got online programs. Someone just filmed him to create a signature program about PR. People are hiring you left and right. But when I first spoke, because you got to get out there. Kathy speaks, I speak. You got to get out there. So I spoke at this free event. Let's talk how you went from, and this is where we'll end today. How did you, and by the way, you guys can do this. Deeper Path coaches, your secret name, Day Job to Dream Job coaches. How did I go from talk to complimentary coaching session, because that's what I offered, to paid multi-year working together? And I'm not looking for, compliments. I'm saying, like, structurally, how did I go from the stage to a week later, we're in your office with a coaching session free to contract?
Well, first, and you say this, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so I was ready. And there's a lot of people who are stuck that need you, the passive income coach. There's a lot of people out there. So I was ready, and I showed up to his talk, which was on leadership. And at the end, he had a call to action where he said, if any of this resonated with you and you want to learn more, write on the back of your business card, leadership, I think that's what you wrote, and leave it at the back table. I was one of 2 people out of about 50 who did it that morning. Sure enough, and I knew I was going to get a phone call. The next day I got a phone call, and it turned into a coaching session without me really knowing it was a coaching session, but just a lot of questions on where are you, what do you do, how are you going to get there, what are you looking to accomplish, what do you desire, those sorts of things. And it was focused on me. It wasn't him trying to sell me something, but it was really genuine questions wanting to know, what am I dealing with, and how am I going to get out of this stuck place. And then after that...
Pause right there.
Yeah.
What I did is I coached them. So many people come to the complimentary coaching session to talk and to sell and to pitch. I walked in and said, whether I get one dime from this guy ever or not, I'm going to literally coach him. Because less than 1 out of 1,000 people have ever been truly coached. So to talk about coaching doesn't sell them. They have to feel the coaching. They have to experience the coaching. So Joel, the first half hour, probably just felt like, wow, why is this guy asking me all these questions? But I was like, cell phone down, notepad. I mean, I'm literally asking curious questions, like you just said. Then, halfway through the session or toward the end, how did it go? Because I don't remember. How did it go from there? I know what I usually say. How was this for you? That's usually what I say. How was this last half hour for you? What new awareness did you have? What things came up? What sticks out to you? Okay, I'm still coaching. So then he probably, I don't know what you said back then, but you were stuck.
Yeah.
And he might have said, I don't know, like, wow, I never thought of that before, or you brought up some good points today. And then what I usually say is, would you like this relationship to continue? Think about that question. Would you like this relationship to continue? Do I say, this is $500, do you see the difference? And I don't know, you must have said yes. So he probably said, what does that look like? That's when I went into, you know what? My coaching is centered around this OPUS model, where we're going to talk about your overarching vision. We're going to talk about your purpose. We're going to organize your life around unifying strategies, and you're going to keep score with this scorecard of significance. And then I probably talked for 5 to 10 minutes and said, this is a 10-week process. And if at any time you're not getting a return on your investment, we're done. I don't know if right there you said yes or you said, I'll think about it. I don't know.
Well, I think I said yes after that first call.
Okay.
Because I was really stuck. And I think, some of the stuff I was saying was, I know there's more out there for me, but I need help in getting there and figuring out, what that is. I had no clarity.
He did not ask for certifications. He did not ask for previous clients. He did not ask for my degrees. I sold him, if I can say this, because I was present. You see what I'm saying? Total difference. When I lost the gig on 23 and 270, I walked in with 3 big binders, and I was like Mr. Suit, and I probably was so nervous, tripping over myself, and I was pitching, I was selling, and it felt like that. And therefore, they didn't hire me, Big difference. I came that day to be present with Joel. Literally not tying myself to the outcome, even though I was probably saying, God, please give me this client, because it's a sign that,
Can I share a story? It just happened probably about 4 months ago. A referral company in Michigan called, and within about 10 minutes into the conversation, I said, you know what? I'm not what you need. I think you need this, and I know somebody there, and I'm happy to put you in touch with them. And they said, oh, great. Well, tell me more about what you do. And I explained to them, and advising and coaching came up. And I've been their advisor and coach ever since. I did put them in touch with that other company, and for whatever reason, that didn't work out. Just wasn't the right fit, what they were looking for. But then that has rolled into a 4-figure project that we're in the middle of right now.
So your point is you were helpful.
I was helpful.
Rather than selling them.
I was vulnerable. I was honest. I said, I'm not sure I'm what you're looking for. And right there, when I felt it, I immediately gained so much validation and credibility in their eyes, to the point where they sent me a box of chocolates thanking me for my time. And I'm like, all right, this is somebody I want to work with.
So I think where most people get in danger is they don't call it an official coaching session. They're just like, hey, Kathy, I was thinking of you the other day. I have some business questions. Can I pick your brain? Is this sounding familiar, right? And I worked with you a lot on that. Is do not do that. Your time, do you say to your dentist, Doc, hey man, can I take you out for lunch and pick your brain? My tooth's hurting. Okay, right? We think it's crazy. Or your mechanic. Hey, my guy's Eddie, right? Eddie, dude, my van's not working, man. Can we book lunch and I can pick your brain? So, if you don't do that for other industries, don't do it for coaching. That's part of the problem. is that you're in a restaurant with a waiter or waitress, you're trying to get into life issues, they're spilling the drink, it's not working. So what you do is you say, you know what, I think what you're asking is for coaching. You know, just say, I think what you're asking is for coaching. I am a coach. I'd love to help you. I don't do brain picking sessions, and I have a standard email that I send out, that our team sends out, where it says, thank you for your request. Kary would love to help. However, he doesn't do brain picking sessions because brain picking lunches do not produce life-changing results. Ouch. And one guy didn't like that one time. But then I say, but here's some other ways I can help you. And then it goes way 1, way 2, way 3, way 4. If you're early in your career, take the complimentary coaching session, but call it that. And then 3/4 of the way through, ask them, how do you feel like this is going? What did you learn today? So the point is that you don't need to take on that client. At the end of 3/4, you might be like, dude, I'm never working with this person again. You know what? Hey, this was a great session today, and our time's up. You know, have a good life. You know? So, right? I mean, you want to work with the right people, not a train wreck that's going to like take you down and your business down. Make sense?
Makes complete sense.
Awesome. Glad you stuck around. Yeah, awesome. If you got to go, you can go. I'm going to answer these 2 questions, and then we'll be done. So these 2 questions, go for it.
Kary, what if we're sitting here and we came here not really knowing what was going on, you know, with this program, and we think that that's something that we want to do, but we want to kind of incorporate it into a current business.
Love it.
And maybe we need a little bit of direction ourselves to get to the place where we can be where you are.
This surprise that we're announcing tonight will help you, because it is literally going to help you personally get clarity. So that's one thing. Number 2, you actually get to go through the program yourself. So you get certified on it, but you also get to go through it yourself. So another way to say it is, which one am I kind of struggling with the most? You're going to get that course as well. And then just filling out an application, there is literally no obligation. We're going to look at you, we're going to consider it, and then we're going to respond back to you. So I would say your first step today is fill out an application, and then let's see where it goes. Okay, cool. Laura, you had a question?
Well, or maybe just more of an observation.
Yeah.
When you were talking with Joel about that free sample.
Yeah.
You were saying that, you know, this is just one event.
Yeah.
To really change things for you.
Yes.
We've got to, you know, what's next.
You guys know, I'm surprised I don't have that slide. You remember my slide? I always have that slide. Event, process. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Event, and then it's like easy. Process, hard. Event's a calendar issue. Process is a culture issue. Events motivate you. Processes mature you. So yeah, you could have a little handout like that where, you know, you say, hey, this was a great event today. And if you worked out one time in 2018, would you be healthy? If you ate one time in 2018, would you survive? You know, because some people don't exercise, that's fine. If you ate one time in 2018, you think you'd make it? No. You just ate. You just fed yourself. It's called personal growth. You just had a coaching session. What's going to happen next month? What's going to happen the month after?
Can you put that slide up on the Facebook page or something
Sure.
today?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I don't know where I
No, we'll get that.
I don't know where
we'll
I
get
put
that
it.
for you. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Well, folks, thank you for being here for the first ever on-site at Life Point Igniting Souls Fellowship. We've been doing these for 5 years. Thank you for coming today. So we'll see you. Hope you guys apply, and we'll see you this evening.